the way a quantum computer works, a problem that would take thousands of years for every computer on Earth to solve, it can solve in a second.
Yeah.
Something that can take more years than you literally can understand, it can be solved in 15 minutes.
Yeah, I read that.
It's insane. And this is where it gets really weird. The way it was explained to me, and we should have to Google how quantum computers work and why people connect them to the multiverse so I don't fuck this up. But the idea is that they're pulling answers from different universes simultaneously. They don't even completely understand how this is working. But the amount of power in computing is incomprehensible.
Yeah.
Like you're only looking at it and there's numbers, you could write all those numbers out, but your brain's not capable of grasping really what's going on. Yeah. And it's probably the biggest breakthrough technologically in human history by a long stretch. And it's all happening without most people even being aware of what the implications are. So see if you can Google an explanation of how quantum computers work.
I'm trying to.
Was it Mark Andreessen that was explaining to us that it's pulling from different universes?
No, that
Who was that?
Being talked about in the wording of the Willow description.
Right.
But I also, just to add, when I was reading about this, they said that these benchmark numbers are coming off of Google's own data. Like they're the ones that set like the scale of what some of the quantum.
Are you skeptical? Is that what you're saying?
I'm just
Are you calling bullshit on Google?
No, not at all. Not at all. Not at all. No. I'm just
like
a grain of salt, like just to say that, like I think they used tillions is the number or something like that.
Septillion.
That no one even can grasp that.
Yeah,
that's just based, but that's a number based off of their formula too.
Right.
That's all.
Right. What is the definition of how it works? The way it pulls from multi universes.
I think I'm trying to find it, but I think the understanding I got from it was it's just too powerful to get from our universe alone. You'd have to have more than one, and I don't like. That's just
like what does that mean?
How do they even
exactly? What does that mean? Right. What is that thing that they have? And if you ever seen the chip itself is very small.
Yeah.
It's like the size of a saltine cracker.
Yeah.
And then this entire mechanism around it is just the insane amount of cooling. Okay. Google's quantum AI founder said the performance gains lends credence to the idea that we live in a multiverse. The idea is that Willow might be communicating with parallel universes to finish calculations faster. Like what does that mean? The announcement led Google's already high stock price to surge, which isn't that shocking, but perhaps most surprising for us lay people that Google's quantum AI founder and lead Harmut Nevin said that the chip's performance lends credence to the notion that quantum computation occurs in many parallel universes in line with the idea that we live in a multiverse. And then it says, excuse me? This obviously has caused a bit of a stir and it isn't exactly clear on how he made that leap. It sounds a bit like something out of a sci-fi movie, and I'm definitely not going to pretend I'm an expert, but it's worth pointing out that Google is very much still in the theoretical research phase of this journey. This is very weird stuff. An evolving scientific field that even people working on it don't fully understand. What? Okay, here's what is a quantum computer. Let's explain this.
Yeah.
The computer we use every day and have been iterating on for the past several decades are what is known as a classical computer. Essentially, a classical computer utilizes binary as its language of choice. A bit in the smallest unit of data that a computer can store and process is like a light switch. Each bit can only be in a single state at a time, on or off, which is represented by 0 or 1. Computers track data based on the language of bits. Literally anything our computers do is based on a network of on-off switches sending a particular signal. A quantum computer is a bit different. If you're familiar with the concept of superposition or Schrodinger's cat, this won't be too far of a stretch, but a quantum bit or qubit is capable of representing the potential of multiple states at once. Rather than only recording a 1 or a 0, it records both because it can be both. This allows a chip like Willow, which has 105 qubits, to perform incredibly complicated analytics in a fraction of a time a classical computer could. And how does it work? So let's boil it down to a very small example. If you have 2 bits which can return a value of 1 or 0, there are 4 potential states that it can be recorded: 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1, and 1, 0. If each of these states takes 1 second to record, it would take a classical computer 4 seconds to record every position permutation, every possible permutation. A quantum computer made up of 2 qubits, however, would be able to send to record the potential of each qubit at once, meaning it could record all 4 positions, all 4 possible states in 1 second. The real power here is achieved when you add a much higher number of qubits together and try to record every possible state. Once again, something that would take a classical computer far longer can be achieved quickly because a quantum computer can record a number of potential states at once rather than one at a time. Okay, we basically don't know what the fuck we're saying here. This is just too weird. Okay, so this is what it is. One of the world's most advanced classical computers. Okay, here it is with this problem. So AI's founder and lead, Hartmut Neven, said that the new chip had performed a purposefully complicated exercise called a random circuit sampling benchmark in 5 minutes. One of the world's most advanced classical supercomputers, on the other hand, it would take 10 and then 3 zeros, 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 years to perform the same exercise. That's 10 septillion years, which exceeds known time scales in physics and vastly exceeds the age of the universe. So it can do more time than vastly exceeds the entire age of the universe, and it can do it in 5 minutes. And the reason it could achieve such a monumental improvement in calculating capacity is because Willow is made up of 105 qubits and can track the potential of each of those at once, allowing it to record potential data much faster and come to the right answer sooner. So, like, what is happening?
That's too much information.
What do you mean?
I get it, but I don't get it.
I don't get, how does that prove the multiverse or provide evidence that the multiverse is real, like, and that it's getting it from parallel universes? Like, what are we even saying here?
But it couldn't come up with those answers within the allotted time span. That's
what